Let's go! Yeah. Wow. If you had told me Jets were going to beat the Bengals, I would not have believed it. Oh, it feels good to get a victory. Look at this chat. Edward, John, Ethan, Rusty, Chris, Zach, Neil, Braisley, Rich. Ah! Let's go! Yeah! Jets beat the Bengals 34-31. Ah, I like it. Mike White, first start. There's two quarterbacks that have ever thrown for 400 yards in their first career start. The first one is Cam Newton. The second one is Mike White. Let's go. All right. Mike White finishes 37 of 45, 405 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He did go down for a little bit, so Josh Johnson came in, 2 of 4 for 17 yards. Michael Carter had himself a day. That was probably one of my favorite things to see here. He had 15 carries for 77 yards and a touchdown. He also had 9 receptions for 95 yards. This guy went off. And this team looks completely different than it did last week. Like, you could tell everything felt different. LaFleur being up in the box, I think, had a huge part to play in this because he called a game that I would say is his best called game of the season. And there's probably little bits of this that's like, okay, Mike White's hitting the check downs. So I think I want to say it was the first like 12 or 13 plays that he had weren't like beyond 10 yards. They were all like within 5 or 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. So you get him in a rhythm and he's moving. The offensive line is getting a good push. They're getting a great pocket. Guys are catching the ball. The defense is making plays. CJ Mosley being back out there. Oh man, has this guy completely changed this defense or what for the New York Jets between all of last year and then just the few like little bit that he's missed this year, meaning last game? Incredible. Absolutely massive. I love it. I love it. Alex says, my guy Quincy. We have had just a rough go of it the last few weeks. It's been rough. We actually see a victory. And look at Steven. Steven says, dude, you had free tickets. I did have free tickets. And you know what? You're welcome. Because I didn't go, they wound up winning. I'll take that all day. Eminon says I'm on cloud 9. Chrono Kenny says great play calling today. They're chanting White in the stadium. Love it. Gio says QB1 for Mike White. Aaron says, what a game. The Jets love playing with our emotions. What a turnaround. It's like they're just like yo-yoing us up and down. That's what's going on with us. Back and forth. I saw another one in here. Where did this one go? Let Mike White cook. It's from Jon Snow. Let him cook. Look, the guy made plays. He made all the right reads. I loved it. This was awesome. I'm sitting like probably like halfway through this game, 3/4 of the way through the game. I'm like, you know what? If we wind up losing this game, I can at least be happy because we're competitive. But no, we actually like come out, we stifle the Bengals. Could you imagine if we didn't have 3 turnovers? This would have been a blowout. Jets came to play. Dude, I cannot believe how different we look from last week to this week. The coaching staff seemed like we were prepared. I would bet the Bengals, it's probably a combination of a few things. Like the Bengals coming off a high emotion game against the Ravens. They let their guard down. Jets came out swinging. I loved it. Now, I will say this. I think it was a little bit I didn't love the helmet-to-helmet call at the end of the game there to give us the first down. I thought that not the best of plays or not the best of calls in that situation. Calvin for the super chat. I did see you had a comment in here, so let me see if I can find it. He said he forgot to put it in his super chat, and now I'm not going to be able to find it. Oh, there it is. Ooh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Sorry. Calvin says, bro, I forgot to type my super chat in. It's all right. I don't know where your other comment is, but there it is. That's my attempt at showing your comment on screen. Yeah, I don't love the helmet call on the last play of the game. I thought that was rough. And how about that almost catch by Keelan Cole? And then the follow-up catch by Braxton Berrios. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. That was something special. Something special. Let's see, we got Alex. See, I'm trying to get all this in here, and I'm just all over the place. Alex says, so we beat two teams that might play in the AFC Championship game. Yeah, if you told me we're going to beat the Titans and the Bengals, no way. No way. We're actually competitive. This is this is what we say when we say the Jets have more talent on their team than what we were getting out of them. So to be able to see this now and be able to actually get a complete game from the entire team was just impressive. And we did that without Corey Davis and Zach Wilson. Lloyd, where'd your comment go? Lloyd says, no Flacco next week. If we compete next game, then there will be white chants. There will be white chats when Zach starts sucking. White chants when Zach starts sucking. Yeah, no, I didn't really think Flacco was gonna start the Thursday night game because I think a week and a half is probably pretty fast for you to be able to turn around a playbook just being traded on the team. So I thought White was going to start either way. But if White plays well Thursday night against the Colts, that's going to be huge because, look, I'll be honest. I want a quarterback in the worst way. I don't care if it comes by way of the waiver wire and backup quarterback steps in and White, maybe the rest is history. And we wasted a second round pick. No, I'm kidding. I still believe in Zach Wilson. But man, this was a way better game all the way around. All the way around. Hulk smash your mom. I'm still going to love that. JETS. He says, forget the shirt. He had a shirt idea last year with a dumpster fire. And we were a dumpster fire. Now we're going to have to come up with something else. Christoph. Thank you for the super chat, brother. He says, so you mean to tell me Zach and Mike have been going over the same playbook and Mikey Boy looks like Testaverde? What the hell is that? What is that word? I don't know what that means. Yeah, I don't have any idea how this could be so drastically different. This was the first time that Cincinnati gave up over 25 points to a team this year, and it was the Jets. The Jets did it to them. Get out of here. Victory Sunday, boys. Victory Sunday. Euphoria jumps in. He says teams that have a two-back system are killing the league right now. Michael Carter is emerging. Yo, Michael Carter is legit. And Elijah Vera Tucker, too. I don't know if you guys watched some of these blocks. I'm going to have to go back and look at the game because there was one play that had me all fired up. Carter shoots up the middle. Elijah Vera Tucker has this nice block at the second level. And then you see Van Roten running away, trying to get his guy, and this guy winds up making the tackle. Now, I think we wound up getting a first down on that play. Whew. But, man, that is I'm happy. Looks like we got some gamers here. Elijah Moore finally got involved more. Loved it. Elijah Pemberton, thank you for the super chat. He says Bryce Hall played amazing. That long pass wasn't an actual completion, but a bad decision to not challenge the play. Also loved the way Croft played. Dude, I was ready to crucify Salah. I was going to be so mad. They're talking about it on the broadcast. They're like, that ball came out. And you're telling me there's no challenge? Not even a timeout. Throw a timeout and at least look at it. That was a huge play. That was, 3rd and 6? That could have cost us the game right there. That was great coverage by Bryce Hall. He played a phenomenal game. I mean, aside from the, I think that was the last touchdown on him. I believe it was, right? It was that extended play where Burrow ran out to his right and he kind of lost his guy in the back of the end zone. Ugh. I don't care. I'm loving what we got out of Elijah. Out of Bryce Hall. Yeah, let's go over some of these stats real quick. We got Mike White, 37 of 45, 405 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. 2 interceptions that were like tipped or touched or knocked away. He made the right reads both times. He just kind of like threw the ball too hard. It sounds weird, but that's what it sort of seemed like. Michael Carter comes out, 15 carries, 77 yards, and a touchdown that's good for 5.1 yards per carry, and then 9 receptions for 95 yards, good for 10.6 yards a catch. Jamison Crowder had 8 catches for 84 yards. Ty Johnson, 5 for 71. So a lot of the running backs getting involved here. A lot of running backs coming in and just making some plays. How great was that Ty Johnson tightrope like touchdown, by the way, at the end there? Oh man, the awareness of where your feet are was awesome. Aaron says, this team plays with our emotions too much. What a win. Sal looks to be himself today. It's amazing what a win can do for a franchise and how like it just clicks. Now, how much of this is LaFleur being up in the booth? Because this is the first game we got to see that, and this team looked way different, completely different. How much of that is not a rookie quarterback locking onto his first target in Corey Davis? How much of it is making this simple play, like Robert Saleh has said? There's going to be a lot of people around the fan base that are going to be calling for Mike White to continue to start. And if he plays like this, completely agree with it. Have no problem with that. But it's game 1. Let's see him do it again. Let's see him do it again. 400 yards. Let's go. Let's go. This is the stuff I just like seeing. Zuniga had a sack today. I love when Jet fans are hyped up. How we doing, brother? Good result and performance today. I thought onwards and upwards. Go Jets. David, Scottish NY Jets fan. Yes, this is what we want to see. We just want to see progress out of our team. The defense played with their hair on fire. Quinton Williams had a phenomenal game. Sheldon Rankins played out outstanding. It was good to see Jared Davis out there. I thought CJ Mosley is incredible. That guy, 0 shot am I cutting this guy at the end of the year. I know there was a lot of discussion preseason of like, what's he going to look like after 2 years? CJ Mosley is incredible. This whole team just came out, and it felt like they knew they were embarrassed last week, and they came out and there's like, this is not going to happen again. And we beat the top seed Cincinnati Bengals. Let that soak in for a second. We beat 2 of the best teams in the AFC right now. Come on, Indianapolis. Bring it. Natra Brown, thank you for the super chat. Says, funny how our offense looks different when our offense coordinator is in the box, where he said he's more comfortable instead of on the field. Jets are stubborn. Now, I've heard conflicting reports. I've heard Wilson wants him on the sideline, but I thought originally it was Saleh that wanted him on the sideline to be able to talk with Wilson. And I do think it's important to have a veteran presence there. So Joe Flacco can be that veteran presence on the sideline to talk to Zach Wilson, to talk to Mike White. And then LaFleur, who's more comfortable in the booth, can actually call the plays up in the booth. That's how I want to see this going forward. He shouldn't be on the sideline. If he's not comfortable being on the sideline, not helping anyone. Kyle, thank you for the super chat. Kyle says, how are we not talking about White's 2-point conversion catch, New York version of the Philly? We cannot go back to Zach Wilson. Dude, that as soon as it happened, I seen Philly. I was like, Becca, Philly. She's just like, what are you talking about? I was like, it's the Super Bowl play. They're doing it. They're doing the thing. It just felt so good, right? Like you could actually enjoy a Sunday. Enjoy a Sunday. Oh, this is a good comment. Got to throw this one on there. Our buddy Antonio says, former top seed. Knock him down a few pegs, brother. I love it. Love it. Hulk Smasher Mom says, you think this will affect Wilson's confidence? If this affects Wilson's confidence, then he's not the right choice at quarterback. You have to be so mentally tough to play in the NFL and New York in general. If this affects his confidence, sorry, Wilson, not the right guy. But I will say this. I do think there is plenty of opportunity for Wilson to grow. Dude's in his first year. But this offense looking completely different under Mike White. that gives you hope for what everything can look like moving forward. And I think, man, I see Euphoria goes, let's go 12-5. You're damn right. Every win from here on out. You heard it here. We're winning every game. Oh, geez. Okay, what else are you guys calling? Andy L says play calling with the short passes worked super well. Yes, I agree. I think you keep everything. That's what you see around the NFL too, though. You see guys that they're calling plays. Mac Jones, a lot of his plays right within that 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. Tom Brady made a living off of it his entire career. If you can be successful and just move the chains, you just need 4 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards. You have a first down. 3 plays. That's all you need. 4 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards. There's no reason to go deep all the time. Certainly helps. Those explosive plays. But now the defense had rest, so the defense was able to tee off on Burrow. We got some sacks in this game. Quinnen Williams looking legit. I love it. I love it. Calvin drops in with a super chat. Says, if we drafted White second overall and he had this performance, we'd be super pumped. Yes, we absolutely would be super pumped. And I think everyone's super pumped regardless. Like, dude, I don't care where we get a quarterback. If you found your version of Tom Brady undrafted or off a practice squad somewhere and he winds up playing well, I don't care. I just want a quarterback. I still have faith in Zach Wilson, but man, having a backup like Mike White or even a starter like Mike White, this guy made the right calls. He seemed like he was in command. He knew where he was going to go with the ball, and he made multiple reads too. It wasn't just locking on. Like, one thing that got me irritated with Wilson consistently was the locking on to Corey Davis and forcing him the ball. And that was a big, big issue throughout the beginning part of this season. But this was the first time we saw us not really shoot ourselves in the foot too bad with penalties. Udoka did scare me there at the end with his false start. Receivers caught the ball. The defense made plays. The quarterback made the right reads, made the easy reads, made the correct reads. The running backs had running lanes. The offensive line blocked. We had good pass protection all day. This is the type of game you want to see week in and week out. And that's when Green Bean and Matt and I, we all say there is more talent on this team than what we're getting out of them. So don't be surprised. 2 first-round picks, $65 million in cap space, 2 second-round picks. This Jet team has the ability to play with any other team in the NFL. They just have to play up to their ability. And maybe catch a few teams sleeping, but that's okay. Dylan Grace drops in the super chat, says the play calling was with the short screens followed by the 15-yard throws was what we need. Let's talk about Yak with Carter and Ty and more. Yes, those guys were awesome. The ability to shake off a defender or to just put your foot in the ground and go. Ty Johnson's tightrope on the sideline was awesome. Michael Carter stole the show today. And then Elijah Moore is just impossible to catch in a phone booth. Guy's awesome. Oh, I see my buddy John Moore. Yeah, what's up, John? Over in Colorado, he says, this is how a Jets offense needs to be called every game. I completely agree. Completely agree. You'll not catch me saying otherwise. Where'd we go? I saw another one in here. St. Nick, thank you for the super chat, brother. I don't see a comment attached to it. I'm trying to find it as I go through. Oh, here's a comment. Bam. Team was upset when White was hurt. They didn't give a F when Wilson was hurt. That means something. That was something we actually talked about a lot on Tuesday night, where Zach got hit low on 2 plays and the team was not fired up. Like, you get hit low on your quarterback, you need to be in the other team's face. You get a late hit on your quarterback, be in the other team's face. The offensive lineman just walked away from Zach. With Mike White, you didn't see that. And that's an interesting thought process. I wonder if there's anything more going on behind the scenes here. Like, maybe Wilson's just a dick and people don't like him. I hope that's not true. I really hope that's not true. But Mike White has fire, and he had this team playing hard. Robert Saleh came back, coached a hell of a game. The only thing that you could be ticky-tacky on was not throwing the challenge flag on that 3rd and 6 when they got the long pass down the field to T. Higgins. But other than that, thought it was a great game. The defense played fired up. The offense played out of their minds. We needed that. We needed that. Michael says, it's just nice to see competent football. That's really where I was going. I'm sitting here on my couch. I'm watching this. And I'm like, all right, I just want to see, like, not 3 and outs all the time. We finally break the first quarter curse. We score a touchdown. Just felt good. Daniel says, I think Joe Douglas knew we had something in White. That's why he didn't get a vet. I don't know if he knew that. I think regardless of if you thought you had something in White, you should have gone out to get a vet. Apparently, we went after Brian Hoyer, which would have been an absolutely A-plus signing, and we slapped him in the face with the offer we put out to him. So that's why we don't have a backup or a veteran quarterback. I think it would be important regardless of whether, like, you still keep Mike White on the team. Like, it's not like you replace him with whoever the vet would have been. But having him as the 3rd quarterback or even the 2nd quarterback with the vet still on the roster, I think is and would have been huge. But hey, Joe Douglas bringing in Mike White. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Brian Dola, what's up, brother? From Jet Nation. Says the whole team played better with Magic Mike on the field. That's the expectation from a franchise quarterback. 37 of 45, 405 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Take a seat, Zach. Yeah, and he can't switch back. If this guy continues to play at an above-average level from here on out, I don't care what happens with Zach. You trade him if that's what winds up happening. If you wind up having something in Mike White, if that ends up being your guy, I'm not going to get ahead of myself. We're not putting the cart before the wagon. Let's pump the brakes a little bit. But yeah, if something, as long as you get a franchise quarterback, I don't care how you wind up getting one. I mean, you look at Seattle, right? Seattle, and I'm pretty sure if I have my years right, Robert Saleh was he there for when Wilson was drafted? Because they had signed Matt Flynn, to a massive contract at the time. And then they started a 3rd-round rookie. Does not matter where you get your franchise quarterback from as long as you get one. But again, I'm going to preach. Still one game. Nose Kills, thank you so much for the super chat. Says half a dozen highlight reel plays to show me this shows how much that little rookie shakiness from Zach throws everyone off. Looked like football and shows we actually have skill at wide receiver. Zach needs time. Yes, Zach needs to play within the means of this offense. When he goes off script, he's really exciting and fun, and that's when you get those super highlight plays. But if you're not playing from in the pocket, you're not making those correct reads, you don't have to go 20 yards down the field. You could go 5 yards. You could go right at the line of scrimmage. Let your guy get some yak. I mean, Michael Carter and Ty Johnson, Elijah Moore, these guys are all yak guys. Mims, all these guys, yards after catch. That's what you want to see. And you know what? Jets actually have talent at wide receiver. Tight end. Was it Griffin that got the catch? Griffin and Croft both had a touchdown? Is that right? Or was it just Croft? Might have just been Croft. This is what happens. I get too excited and I start rambling. It's nice. We're not used to this. Let's go. Dylan drops in a super chat. Says, can we talk about a beautiful catch by Cole? Best catch of the year. Yes, it was called back, but I called BS on that overturn. Look, either way, that was an incredible snag. Like, even though it's not going to go down as a catch and maybe the ball shuffled around a little bit as he came to the ground, that was incredible. I jumped out of my seat. I was like, Becca was like half asleep, snoozing on the couch. And I was like, oh my God, he caught it. No way. The Barrios catch was great after that too. This is good. I want more wins. I want more victories. You wind up winning with a young team. It instills confidence. Dude, I originally said every win without Zach Wilson means nothing. And I could not have been more wrong. Because a win like this is much needed. Much, much needed. I would much rather us win with our young guys. My fear was like maybe you'd have Flacco and you wind up winning games with Flacco. Don't love that. I don't want to like wind up like having sleight of hand type wins, things that like that we got things that were exciting. We saw trick plays, just try to get something going. Like it felt like they were able to keep Cincinnati off balance, and it was the first time all season that like you actually could say this team looked like they had a legitimate offense. This is what we thought we signed up for. Week 8. We're almost halfway through the season. I guess Wednesday would technically be halfway through. But yeah, look, it takes time for all these guys to figure it out. If Mike White's the answer, I'm all for it. Let's go. Look at all the JETS chants in the chat. That's exciting. Donald Levy says Mims needs to see the field more. I think he does. Corey Davis has been playing well. So you'd like to see them both on the field at the same time. That would be ideal. Brian says Wilson is scrawny Darnold. White is 6'5", 225, and plays like a calm professional. White's also in like his 4th year, if I'm not mistaken. So like let's not say like Wilson's a finished product, because I'm pretty sure Mike White was no one's choice at quarterback at any point in the last 4 years. So let's pump the brakes a little bit. Let's give our rookie some time. Either way, I'm happy. What do we got going on in the chat? Man, you guys are flying through. I can barely keep up with these things. Mike says, a win's a win. You take them whenever you can. 100%. Big Frank says, you could tell White seems more composed than Wilson due to him being in the NFL a few years. Yes, I think that his knowledge of the game is definitely further along than Zach's, even if the in-game experience isn't there. And maybe he's just quicker at picking up a playbook. Certainly possible. I mean, you think about how Zach came from a school that was like no out-of-conference play last year, and I don't know. Going to be interesting. In real life, HDR says, and this was without Davis. Super impressed. Yeah, I'm curious to see what happens next week with the Colts game, and if Corey Davis does wind up playing, how does that impact the offense? Like, are we trying to force the ball to our quote-unquote number 1 wide receiver too much when he's on the field? Or will we continue to see more of this spreading of the ball around? Because I want to say Mike White had 11 completions to 5 different receivers or 5 different targets. I think this is huge. What else are you guys talking about in here? The win. Jeez, I'm trying to keep up with all these things. The win shows the staff is competent and knows what they're doing. Yeah, I think that is huge for me. Being able to, I want to feel confident in LaFleur and Saleh moving forward. And this definitely helps. I don't know what they said or what they put in the water, but man, the defense, the way they played compared to last week, and I don't know if Joe Douglas or Robert Saleh just like sounded off on these guys, but they look like they took last week's game personally and came out and just, as poorly as they played last week, they played that well this week. That well. Sir Manzier says 10 different receivers, Ryan. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different receivers with a reception today. But what I was saying was I think Mike White had he had 5 different targets in his first 11 passes, which was really nice. John Perez drops in with a super chat. He says, first game LaFleur in the press box, is that the difference? I think it is. I mean, it can't be the only reason. It really cannot be the only reason, because the receivers were catching balls, the offensive line was blocking well, the running game got going, and Mike White was making the correct throws. And that can't all be on the offensive coordinator being in the box, but I do think he called his best game today. And if he feels more comfortable being in the box versus being on the sidelines, I would much rather him in the box and have Joe Flacco or whoever else. If it's Callahan, go talk to Zach or Mike or whoever's going to wind up being the quarterback over the course of the next few weeks. Either way, very happy. Sir Tunes, can the Jets still make the playoffs? I would have to imagine, right? Like, let's playoffs. Can't be talking about the playoffs. All right. So let's see. The Jets right now would be picking 5th, as it sounds. So we're 2-5. Last place in the 4-3 would be Pittsburgh. They're technically in the playoffs, I think, if this tankathon board is right. Jets have the 5th pick and the 7th pick right now, with Seattle not much better. We're both 2-5. Eat it, Jamal. You're going to lose your quarterback next year. Oh, sorry. Let's see. Ant Live says, I'm seeing sample sizes from Elijah Moore. Wait till he figures it out. Scary good. He is going to be really good. Once the Jets kind of figure it out and they can get this offense clicking a little bit more, I think they'll expand his role. Boycott Activision says, breaking, new nickname Bryce Hall equals the Hall Monitor. Yes, we were making that joke in London. We were saying you're going to need a hall pass. Otherwise, the Hall Monitor is going to get you. I love it. It's a good nickname. What else we got? I saw Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh needs to keep the beard, and Michael LaFleur needs to keep his ass in the box. Yeah, Robert Saleh, no shaving the beard. I'm clean shaven. You guys didn't watch my video yesterday. I had this like patch of hair right here. I was what the hell was I? I was Shaggy for Halloween. Becca was Scooby-Doo. So no shaving. And I guess November's tomorrow, so it's a perfect no-shave November. Darian Davis says, didn't even need Flacco. I'm not concerned about giving up a 6th-round pick for Flacco, like at all. I'd much rather have Flacco for a 6th than like just the 6th, because having a 6th-round pick just means you have a 4% chance of getting a starter. And I would rather have the backup that might be able to help Zach and Mike White and maybe allow LaFleur to be up in the box. So who knows? Maybe if we don't trade for Flacco, maybe LaFleur is down on the sidelines. What else we got? Michael Carter was the unsung hero of the game, almost 200 yards. He's not unsung. We've been praising him. We're all pumped up on him. Very excited. Let's see. Lou Schneider drops in. He says, sorry you missed the game live. Oh, so sorry you missed the game live. That's all right. I still don't mind it. I like going to the Jet games, but they eat up a ton of your day. I wouldn't be able to have this cool post game without you guys. So I'm happy. I ate some chicken fingers, drank a little bit, and enjoyed the game. Victory! Victory! Harry W. says both Carters were great today. Yeah, dude. Can we draft another Michael Carter? If it seems like each Michael Carter we draft, we wind up having success. We're 2 for 2 on Michael Carters right now. Very happy. Phil C says, I like Mike White, but could he be the next Kirk Cousins? I hope so. That would be a great problem to have. That would be fantastic. If one of these guys can figure it out, if Wilson figures it out or if White figures it out, you trade the other one and then you don't look back. Or you keep them both because they're both really cheap right now. You can do that as well. Wouldn't it be something if White turns out to be a Drew Bledsoe, Tom Brady scenario? Yes, it would be fantastic. One game, boys and girls. Let's pump the brakes. Don't build this guy up so high that we're going to tear him down if he has a bad week on a short week going into Indianapolis. I don't want to break him like that. Let's see. Bum, 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 bum. 780? 780? I told you all last week we're going to win. Nobody believed me. Can you blame us? You look at what happened this past week against the Patriots. Zero thought, zero chance did I think we had any sort of possibility of this happening. Zero shot. No way. No way did I see that happening. If White is the answer, who do you think Wilson can be traded to? I'm not considering trading Wilson yet. No, I would need to see an entire season, entire rest of the season out of Mike White before I even considered moving Zach Wilson. But if you wanted to play that game, I would say the Packers would be a very nice trade partner because they're going to get a bunch of picks for Aaron Rodgers who doesn't want to be there. And Mike LaFleur and Matt LaFleur may like the same type of quarterback. So we'll see. Finn's already upset. He says, guys, stop talking about trading Wilson. Oh, my God. We're not talking about trading Wilson. Not happening. Won't make it happen. Jets and Cincy games are 50-50. You win some, you lose some. Didn't surprise me. Was the last times we played Cincinnati when we beat them in back-to-back since week 17 and then the first week in the preseason? Was that the last time? That couldn't be the last time, right? That was way longer ago. That was 2010, 9 maybe? I think it was 9. RJ McPot drops in the super chat, says, better nickname for Bryce Hall, Bryce Grips, because that's how strong the clamps are. Ooh, Bryce Grips is pretty cool. I like the Hall monitor. I think the Hall monitor is pretty fun. That would be my choice. Hall monitor, Hall pass. You're going to need a Hall pass because then you play on the word on pass. Monitor, cool. I'm happy. All the same. Guys, please calm down with trading Zach. LOL, says Joe S. Thank you, Joe, for being the voice of reason. We're not trading Zach. Not happening. I saw, where's the Quinnen comment? I just saw the Quinnen comment. Can I find it or will I find it? I probably won't find it now. Oh, it's on the screen. Extend Quinnen. Yes, I would like to extend Quinnen after this year. If he had continued playing how he was playing, I might have said wait till next year, but I think extending him this year, get the benefit of his 4th year and 5th year at a cheaper deal, so that way you can extend his signing bonus. This is the type of player that you need to extend. It says we're trolling, dude. Let us have our fun. You guys can have your fun. This is Victory Sunday allows for that. Here's a comment I want to talk about. Lewis says, Mims' drop shows why he's behind in the depth chart. I don't know if it shows entirely why, because I don't think it's his hands that are the issue. He should have had that touchdown. It looked like him, right in the shoulder. But Jamar Chase dropped the touchdown as well. This game could have looked a lot more different if the Jets give up the touchdown to Jamar Chase on 3rd down and don't have that goal line stand at the beginning of the game. So, I don't know. But Mims, I want to see him on the field more. I think he's too talented to be absolutely, stuck behind too many players on our team. All right. So, Yoshi says, no. Wait, no. The last time we played the Bengals is when we didn't have a win yet. We were riding in on a 3-game win, or when they didn't have a win yet, and we lost them in 2019. That's right. They had no wins, and Gase laid an egg. That's what it was. That was ugly. Oh. So maybe the last time we beat them could have been that far back. Let's see. Sheldon says, oh my God, here we go, folks, wanting to start the rest of the season after one game. If anyone is watching this after the fact and they're not looking at the chat right now, like go look at the chat and just see some of the comments. This is like silly. Absolute lunacy. Um, ugh. And don't forget, White caught a pass too. Send this goat to the Hall of Fame already. He did. He caught a pass for the 2-point conversion. Put the Jets up 3. Gotta love it. Gotta love it, boys and girls. What else we got over here? Do we trade Corey Davis? We threw 400 yards without him. Could get a good return for him. No, don't trade Corey Davis. Stop it, Philip. Don't do that. No. We have Corey Davis is a good receiver. Had a little bit of the dropsies. Corey Davis is a good receiver. You hold on to him because we're going to wind up losing. We could potentially lose Keelan Cole and Jamison Crowder after the season. So no, do not trade him. Let's see. Oh, I must have missed a comment somewhere in there. Seriously, just drop the Zach is a bust line. It's a load of crap. Zach has played 6 games on a bad team. Rookies have struggles. The kid, give the kid a chance. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm on that. Roy says, what happened to your tickets, Ryan? Regret not going. Not really. But it was cool. It's fun to watch. It's funny because I was offered free tickets to go to the Titans game too. So this is like, this is what happens. I have to turn down free tickets to go to games for the Jets to win. If that's the sword I have to fall on, I'll do it. I will do it. What else you guys talk about here? After watching 45 years of Jets football, I know what works, and Zach Wilson doesn't work. Oh, come on. Come on. He's literally 6 games into his career. Get the hell out of here. How nice was it to finally Jets get a call? It was terrible helmet-to-helmet call. Yes, that helmet-to-helmet call at the end of the game was bullshit. I'm sorry. Like, Cincinnati fans got to be steaming over that. But it's nice for the Jets to finally get a call that way because it feels like we're always on the bad side of those types of calls. And for the Jets to be able to put themselves in position to take advantage of that type of call is what luck is. Like, what's the definition of luck? It's the luck is setting yourself up to be able to take advantage of it or whatever, right? Something along those lines. You guys let me know in the chat. Where's Green Bean? Tight end scored. Yes. Green Bean's got to be very happy. Very happy. We're getting some tight ends scoring. Where's that comment? Where did it go? Oh, I just lost it. Sorry. There was one about Jon Snow says, doesn't work after 6 games. Guys, don't do drugs. Lou drops in with super chat. Lou says, how high of a pick do you think we can get for Mike White before Tuesday? $5 to crack a stupid joke. Thank you, Lou. I appreciate that. You know what? If someone wanted to give us a first-round pick for Mike White before Tuesday, you do it. You do it, you run, and you figure it all out after. No. That's great. That's a good comment. That was worth $5. You made my day, brother. Brian drops in the super chat. Brian says, wait, so Zach is playing on a bad team, but White can have an all-time great game for the Jets with the same team because LaFleur went to the box? See, I'm with Brian on this one. I do think that there were issues in games that Zach performed well enough to win. That may not have been his fault. Things that may have led to drive stalling, things like that, receivers dropping passes, offensive line not protecting him, poor play calling. Like there was a lot going in to Zach and the Jets not performing well. But to say that Zach was playing for a bad team and Mike White had an all-time great team with the same team and not giving props to Mike White, I think would be disingenuous. So Brian's absolutely right here. White played out of his mind, absolutely played better than anything we've seen from Zach. Like even the phenomenal game against the Titans with Zach was all off-script plays. So you want to be able to see Zach make the quote-unquote boring plays and let his guys make some yards after catch. I think seeing this type of play gives me more confidence in the offensive coordinator. I do like seeing him up in the box, And I do like that we were able to see the offensive line hold up well, even without Becton, even after Fant went down. And Elijah Vera Tucker, that guy can play. That guy can play. Green Bean in the chat. I see Jabari Zuniga in there. If Jabari Zuniga could be a piece to this team that is just a complementary piece, doesn't even have to be a full-time starter. Basically what we've gotten out of Bryce Huff. This would be a huge, huge boost to that 2020 draft for Joe Douglas. So I'm glad he got, a little bit of playing time and got that sack. And he put his helmet on the ball too. Loved it. Caused a fumble. Nose kills. Drops in with the super chat. Says, I will offer you free tickets to go to the next game on the condition that you refuse to take them. Win-win. See, look, I got free tickets to go to the next Jet game. And I promise you I won't take them. So we might end up with a victory. See? Glass half full, my friends. Glass half full. What was the other comment we got? Jet says, how much did Zach Wilson enjoy that game? I'm sure he's happy we won. I mean, I'd be lying if I said he felt like 100% giddy, because having a first-time starter come in and drop 400 yards and a bunch of touchdowns, and like the 2 interceptions really were not that bad. Like I wouldn't peg them on White as much as I'd peg them on like receivers just not, catching the ball, or maybe like balls just being tipped up. Overall, really liked what we saw out of Mike White today. Kyle drops in with a super chat. Kyle says, so then what do we do? Put Mike White on the bench while we parade Zach Wilson on the field for a subpar football team the rest of the season? No. If Mike White continues to play to this sort of level, not even necessarily 400 yards, but if he's getting, say, like high 200s, 300 yards, I'm not putting Zach Wilson in. There's a bunch of other players on this team that are throwing their bodies on the line for wins and contracts next year, that it would be a disservice to the entire team to put Zach Wilson in if Mike White is playing well. If Mike White is playing well, you 100% have to continue to ride the hot hand here, and you don't trot Zach Wilson out there. Now, that being said, I don't believe this is going to continue, for the next 4 weeks or whatever. Like they were saying, Zach might be able to come back for the Bills, which I would be shocked for. When they say Zach Wilson might come back for the Bills, that's them like, hey, no, we just have to sell tickets, so we're going to like say that Zach Wilson's going to come back for that game. Maybe he comes back for the Dolphins. I would think the Texans at the end of November is when we might see Zach Wilson. And I think the Bills and the Dolphins could – I don't know if the Dolphins could give us a real hard time. I think the Bills will give us a hard time, though. But either way, winds up looking like the Jets have an opportunity to beat these top of the AFC type teams. AFC's wide open, boys and girls. Scott drops in the super chat, says, White is not a rookie. He has 3 years in the NFL. Calm down with White is better than Zach talk. Yeah, I would have to agree with this as well. I do think that if you had Zach sit for 3 years and then start a game, he'd probably look a little more competent than just throwing the rookie out there. So, whatever. That being said, don't rain on the parade, Scott. Let us have our Mike White party. It's great. Absolutely great. Elijah says, getting Spencer Rattler vibes, hopefully not. Ooh, are you saying Spencer Rattler vibes from like Zach Wilson and now like the backup quarterback comes in and winds up having a great day? Could be worse things. Having 2 potentially good quarterbacks is much better than having no quarterbacks. 100%. Mark Doherty dropped in with a super chat. Thank you, brother. I don't know if there was anything that was supposed to be attached to that. I'm kind of scrolling through the chat and I don't see anything. Yoshi says the Dolphins ain't shit, Ryan. Don't be scared of them. I'm not scared of them. I'm more trying to think of when the Jets would want to put out Zach Wilson again. And I think if they wanted to do it after a division rival, and let him kind of go up against like a softball type team like the Texans, I think that might be where they go if they're trying to bring him back in. So we shall see. Patrick Dunn drops in with some major statistics here. He says, Salah with a beard is 1-0. We are undefeated with No Shave November. And I don't know if you guys know this, but that was actually Robert Sala's 9 o'clock shadow. Dude just grows hair overnight. Not overnight. I guess it'd be from morning to now. Love it. Mark drops in the super chat. There it is. Mike White, future Hall of Famer. Yep. I think that's exactly where this is headed. No reason to dial it back anymore. Let's just go full-blown crazy here. Entirely possible future Hoffer. Future Hoffer. Let's see. I thought I saw Green Bean in here. Where did Green Bean go? Try to find the comment. Green Bean says, he's talking in the chat. I just can't figure out what he's talking about. What are you talking about, Green Bean? Talk to me. Where are you at in there? Mike scuffed Mac Jones White. I'm not exactly sure what that means, Kaiser. not sure where you're going with that one. Robert Saleh had that. This New York stress is getting to me. I don't have time to shave my beard. Time to grind. Yeah, you know what? Hopefully he needed that little kick in the butt. Oh, he threw a lot of easy passes, says Kaiser. Lots of easy passes. That's all right. Easy passes is what we've been trying to get from Zach Wilson. He hasn't been able to complete them. So hopefully you get to see a little bit more of that. Patrick Dunn says, apparently Mike White took a lot of checkdowns during the beginning of the game, probably why offense looked a lot better this week. Yeah. I mean, don't even say apparently. Like, that was clear. Clear as day. He let his receivers get some yak. I mean, we were talking about it before, right? Michael Carter, 9 receptions, 95 yards. Ty Johnson, 5 receptions, 71 yards and a touchdown. And Michael Carter, if White puts that ball out in front of Michael Carter, the one that was like very nearly almost intercepted when Carter kind of went on that wheel route up the sideline, that's probably another touchdown. So you're talking Michael Carter probably having like close to 150 yards on the ground and a touchdown, or 150 yards through reception wise and a touchdown. That's all yak. When you're throwing to running backs and they're 2 of your top 3 receivers, those are yak type plays. And then you look at the next 2 guys, Jamison Crowder and Elijah Moore. Jamison Crowder, 8 receptions, 84 yards. Elijah Moore, 6 receptions, 67 yards. These are guys that can create yak. Absolutely. Love it. I absolutely love it. This is like so much better than the doom and gloom we had last week. So much better. Ugh. What we got going on here? One Joe Cab 73 says, Ryan, your followers are young, like the Jets, inexperienced, and a work in progress. They said trade Wilson. No, this is the way he will look soon and more. Yes, I do. Look, the ceiling is like super high on Zach Wilson. You're not trading Zach Wilson. You don't take him 2 overall to turn around and trade him after like a phenomenal game from Mike White. That shouldn't take away anything that Mike White did, because at worst, we have a really good backup quarterback. Like, this is a very good problem to have. And then, you know what? You let Zach grow. For me, the biggest part of this game is LaFleur calling a really good game. Like, it was just a great game. Now, all the players like played hard. Like, this felt like a better all-around game from the team. Like, the offensive line's blocking well. The receivers caught the ball. Mike White made the right reads, and we made play calls that were not like totally head-scratching. And the defense played lights out. It wasn't the offense that gave up 54 points last week. Getting C.J. Mosley back was a big deal. Big deal. Eddie drops in with super chat. Eddie says, Aaron Rodgers sat for 3 years. Who knows what Mike White will do? Entirely possible, Eddie. Entirely possible. Now, there's a reason why Aaron Rodgers sat. He was behind a Hall of Famer in Brett Favre. Aaron Rodgers was a first-round pick. Mike White was not. So the expectation level is drastically different. But you're right. you know what? Quarterback sits for 3 years. Maybe that's what happens. Maybe Zach needs to sit, sort of relax, figure out the playbook, figure out how to prepare for games, and then maybe he winds up looking like this. Now, I do think once he figures out the easy plays, kind of like what we saw out of Mike White, I don't want to take anything away from him, but he definitely kept the ball within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage throughout the entirety of the day. I think that is important. I think that's where the high completion throws are made. And I think that's where Zach Wilson has really struggled. And I feel like he's always looking for the big play and not looking for the hey, this play will get me. He's looking at where the receiver is. He's okay, hey, we're only going to get 5 yards. I'm going to throw it further down the field. No. Throw it to the guy that's 5 yards and let him make some plays. Got guys that are super shifty. No reason to overthink it, Zach. D. Mars says Michael Carter was our whole offense today. He's a little monster. He's awesome. Michael Carter is probably my favorite draft pick. Him and AVT. Like, nothing against Elijah Moore. Really like Elijah Moore. Really like Zach Wilson. But Michael Carter, I've always loved the running back position. And Carter feels like the first back that we've had in the last few years that looks like he's going to be really, really good. Like, especially when you get a competent guard on the right-hand side and you really start opening holes, this guy can have that type of like Joe Mixon effect, where Joe Mixon was the third leading back coming into the day. Jamar Chase was the second leading wide receiver coming into the day. Jets played lights out. They had Cincinnati's number this entire game. Imagine if we didn't have 3 turnovers. If we didn't have 3 turnovers, this game is like not close, because the Jets just seem to be able to move the ball all day long. Let's see what else we got in here. Oh, man. Egerton, you got everyone fired up at you. I'm watching the comments pop through. He goes, most people who love Zach never saw him at BYU. That's possible. A lot of people don't watch college football. Zach's got an arm, though. And it's much easier to learn the easy plays than it is to learn the harder plays, I guess, or like the like crafty plays that you make off script. So I have faith that that Wilson will be able to figure that stuff out. Green Bean says he's got to run. Ryan in chat, second half starting. See you later. See you later, Green Bean. Thank you for hanging out with us. Victory Sunday, boys and girls. Good to see this. How many saw Mike White before this game? Come on, guys. Thank you, Joe. How many people? I've never seen Mike White play aside from like preseason. That's it. So 0 shot that I think we were getting that. Demetrios says Ty Johnson's tiptoe work, though. Oh, so beautiful. Oh, so beautiful. Guys, we got over 400 people in this live stream. Let's drop some likes on this video. Let's get it up over 300. I know you guys can do that for me. Love seeing it. Love seeing it. Kaiser says, where'd Kaiser go? I had your comment all queued up and I was ready to click on it and it moved. Kaiser says, Zach just has to get used to being up against faster linebackers and safeties that can cover. Yeah, I mean, he's got to catch up to the speed of the game for sure. Kaiser says, hopefully Corey Davis is back for this Thursday. I would love to see Mike White with Corey Davis and just kind of see how that develops as well. Mark says, evidently, we're only going to beat really good teams this year. Which, not too bad, right? Like, we got the Colts. They're pretty good. The Bills, the Bucks, the Saints. We got plenty of good teams left on the roster for us to have a really nice record, right? Ideally, look, I don't want to be rooting for losses. I just want to see competent play week in and week out. If you get a loss, you get a loss. If you get a win, you get a win. I could not care less about draft position from our draft pick this year. I'm going to be cheering for losses for Seattle, though. Eddie drops in a super chat, says, drops in with a super chat and says, the Jets win. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. 259 likes. You got to be happy with that. Got to be happy with that. Chase dropping that touchdown screwed over my fantasy team, but it was good for us, says Kaiser. Sorry, dude. Egerton says, I just want to win. I just want to draft the best people. I just want to play the best people. Mike White is by far the best quarterback on our team. He has played the best this year, 100%. And he will continue to start if he continues to play up to this level, 100%, even if Zach's healthy. Will, what's up, brother? Good to talk to you again. Will says, I was at the green and white practice. White was clearly performing better than Wilson. Our entire section was like, who is this guy? That's good to see. I was at the green and white scrimmage, and I don't really, I'll be honest, I don't really remember a whole lot of it. I ran down there real quick. Rich Ritter says 400 in the chat, just like Mike White's passing yards. Yes. Yes. Patrick Dunn drops into a super chat, says, great things are coming. We have a young team learning how to win close games. This was the fight that you wanted to see out of this team all year. They were a young team. You knew they were going to take time to actually get their feet kind of churning and being able to, one, understand the playbook, two, understand the speed of an NFL game. There's youngest team in the league. You're going to have mistakes. It's going to be rough for the start of the year. And now you just want to see growth. If by the end of the season we could say, hey, they are clearly better than, say, the first 5 weeks of the game, first 5 weeks of the season. If you could say that by the end of the season, this was a successful year. And it would be a huge plus towards the coaching staff for being able to get these young players in that type of position. If you wind up having players at starting caliber roles that you didn't expect, like you're talking about maybe a Bryce Huff, maybe a late round pick in Michael Carter, secondary Michael Carter, like those, having those types of hits, Bryce Hall in the 5th round 2 years ago, huge. And then you roll into this offseason, 2 firsts, 2 seconds, a third. I think we have 2 fourths. Jets have a lot of draft picks. We got a lot of money, $65 million in cap space. If you can show that this team is not far off, you will have free agents wanting to come to New York. If you play like you did last week, you're not going to get many free agents. You're not going to get people excited to come here unless you're paying the free agent Jets tax. Free agents want to go to winning teams. If they want to cash in, then they go to losing teams. Jets going to have a lot of money and a lot of picks. Going to be interesting how Joe Douglas spends his money. Jalen says, I love Mike's response about his view on his role. He basically said he's here to do whatever is best for the Jets, a true team player. That's the way every player should look at their position on the team. Now, it's different with the quarterback because I think this is a good way to say it, because it's like, I'm sure people are going to be asking, like, oh, should you be starting every game? You know, what happens when Zach comes back? Like, and they're waiting for him to release some type of statement like, oh, this is Zach's team. He'll get the reins when he gets back in there. And I don't think anyone should bite on that type of commenting or questioning in relation to the teams. We can speculate here amongst us. Perfectly fine. Anything we say has nothing to do with the Jets and their decision-making. JJ says, I hope this end of the Jets fans begging for Mims. Dude is horrific. I've been saying that. I wouldn't say he's horrific. He dropped the touchdown pass, but so did Jamar Chase. Are you going to say Jamar Chase is horrible? No. Get the hell out of here. Come on, JJ. Be excited for Mims. I think Mike White playing with Mims more with the second team, probably a beneficial thing for him as well. How about a safety picking off a long pass? T. Higgins running through secondary like he has COVID and he's in isolation. Ashton Davis did not have a very good game today. And I have to look over the entire tape of it, but he had a really odd like Jamar Chase was in front of him and he crashed down thinking the ball was going to go to him and the ball went over his head and May was trying to chase T. Higgins across the entire field. It was definitely on Ashton Davis. So yeah, not good. Would love to see some better safety play. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens with May. If they decide to pull the trigger on a trade this in the next day or two. You would think if they wanted to trade him, you wouldn't have maybe played him this week. So maybe they do hold on to him the entire year. Maybe he makes a change of heart and he wants to stay with the team. Who knows? Or maybe the Jets decide to tag him again. Who knows? JJ's not happy with me. He says, we comparing Mims to Chase. Yikes. LOL, Jets fans with denial of Mims. He's not good. Well, what other plays did he have today that were not good? Come on. They both drop a touchdown pass. Whatever. That's how you get the chat fired up. Joe S says we have to trade May. Boycott Activision says leave May where he is. Mutt Viles, brother, what's up, dude? Says, let me just ask you this as a hypothetical. What if Mike White gets you back to 500 and he turns on God mode? 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns, 2 picks, and the Jets are 6-5 when Zach is healthy. Go Jets. If that happens, Mike White's starting the rest of these games. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't care that we took Zach Wilson 2 overall. If Mike White shows that he's playing so well that he can lead your team back and get to 6-5, he's your starting quarterback. Now, again, I'm going to say this. It's been one game. It has been one game. Let's not put the carriage in front of the horse. Let's figure it out. Watch what happens and just enjoy. This was a season where we had 0 expectations. A lot of people were calling for 4 or 5 wins. That still may very well be the case. But at least you can sit back and only watch what could possibly happen. Ooh, looks like we got a Bengal fan in here. I only clicked on this video so I could dislike it. Ha! Jerk. That's all right. Let's see. Will says, might have to replace the Wall Street Wilson shirt with a Wall Street White. I'm sure there's a bunch of different shirts you can make with Mike White. I don't know how many people are going to. Who knows? Maybe make a shirt now. People will start jumping on it. I don't know if I see that though. Method says no draft pick is guaranteed to be great. That's just reality. Yep, that's true. Brian says if White drops off on Thursday night, do you give him another game? I think so. Why not? It depends how bad of a drop off. Is he throwing like 5 interceptions or is he having like, a bad loss but looks like I would say you don't want Flacco to start if White can perform at least like 75% of what Flacco is, because these are valuable reps that you otherwise would not have been able to get Mike White. And you know what? Let me look this up. I'm curious to see what his contract is, Mike White, because I don't actually know how long the Jets have him under contract. He's only on a 1-year deal. 26 years old. He's getting paid $850,000 for this season. Would be interesting, but he's a restricted free agent. So more than likely, the Jets could slap him with a certain round tender. Whether they want to spend the first round tender on him, they could do that. I think it's a first or a second you're allowed to put on him, or an original round tender. He was drafted in the 5th round, so if you put an original round tender on him, then you would have to, I guess, only get a 5th round pick back. You'd probably put a 2nd round tender on him, I would think. Did you see the Carl Lawson vid? Man's a menace. I did not. I did not watch it. I'll have to take a look. I've been on here. Let's see. Imam Moore says, Mike White, quick decision maker. Getting the ball out of his hands is exactly how we should have been playing with Wilson. And I don't know if we've called plays like that or if there was just no emphasis on it, but it felt like Wilson should have had 1, 2, 3 steps, ball out. Like that's where we should have been. It felt like that's where they went with Mike. Now, maybe Mike White was going to do that either way, but I think, I don't know. I like the quick passes. It gives the defense not a lot of time to react, and they kept going up to the line of scrimmage, so preventing them from swapping out players. And I do think that is something that Mike LaFleur can possibly control and say, hey, run up to the line of scrimmage. I see these guys on the field. Like, we have an opportunity to take advantage of that. So let's not, I think LaFleur being in the booth absolutely had some type of impact. I do think Mike White, overall just played significantly better. What else are you guys talking about in here? You guys talking about a Mosley trade? John Hammond says Mosley's cap hit too high next year to trade him. I would not trade CJ Mosley at all. There is no part of me, after what I've seen from him this year, that would want me to trade him. So his cap hit next year, $17.5 million. That's the last of his guaranteed money. And then we have an 18.5 and an 18.5 the next 2 years. Now, the salary cap is going to explode in, I believe it's 2023. And as long as he plays well, I have no issues. No issues with keeping him. Am I really seeing a Deshaun Watson comment in here? Let's trade White for Deshaun Watson. I'll massage Watson myself so there won't be any more issues. No, I want no part of Deshaun Watson. No part. And this is someone who I wanted Deshaun Watson before the draft last year, before all the allegations came out. I would have absolutely given up 3 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson. I want no part of him now. Sorry. Don't want him. Boycott Activision says, what is it with Jet fans and trading away good players? Well, it depends if that good player is going to resign with us. Like Marcus May more than likely is not going to resign with us unless we hit him with the franchise tag, which I don't really love doing. Like, I don't think the Jets necessarily missed him too much when he was out, and I'd rather get the draft pick than not. Christopher says, getting our first interception felt nice, and by a defensive lineman, Shaq Lawson. If you had bet that defensive lineman would have the first interception halfway through the season for the New York Jets, you probably won a lot of money. Probably won a lot of money with that. Kevin says, we are the only team in the division to beat a team with a winning record, and we beat 2 of them. 2 of them. 2 teams with winning records. This should make Jet fans feel more comfortable. Like, yeah, Belichick has our number. He has rookie quarterbacks numbers. The Bills are kind of a freight train. I do think they are the cream of the crop in the AFC in general. The Dolphins are a very beatable team. It would not shock me if we came away this season and swept both Dolphins games. Now, again, it would not shock me if we lost both those games either, because we're a young team and we could make a whole lot of mistakes. Let's see. What else you guys talking about? Do you think the Jets will go out and sign another young wide receiver to develop alongside Zach Wilson? Chris Godwin is an interesting name. He's 26 years old. I really liked Godwin. That was the receiver I was hoping was going to shake free last year. Do you go with him? I don't know. It doesn't feel like receivers where we should be allocating our money right now. I guess there's probably an argument for like Kyler Murray is surrounded by AJ Green and DeAndre Hopkins. So like, why not surround a young quarterback with as much talent as possible? It depends what it would cost to get him. If he wants $20 million a year, I don't think it's really worth it. I'd rather that money go elsewhere. Jay says, Jets have the tiebreaker over Cincinnati and the Titans. Could you imagine if we go on a run and we're like sort of knocking on the door and these tiebreakers come into play? Oh, man. Talk about a change of fortune if that were to happen. Season says, do you think McGovern was bad today? No, I thought the entire offensive line played pretty well. There's not too many things. If I was going to nitpick, there was really one play that like sort of stood out to me, and that was Van Roten sort of chasing his guy to try and get a block after I believe it was Michael Carter shot through the middle and got us a first down. Could have had a whole lot more. AVT had a nice block at the second level, but I think Van Roten didn't play great. McGovern, I didn't notice played poorly. I think he had the one hold. He kind of like tackled his guy, sort of. But overall, really not bad. Good performance by the offensive line overall. Joe S. said McGovern had a bad game. You know what? It would have surprised me because it didn't feel like White was running for his life the way Zach was the last few years. Michael Carter needs more touches. Michael Carter had a ton of touches. Michael Carter had, 9 receptions and 15 carries? So he had 24 touches. That's a lot. I'm cool with giving Michael Carter 20-plus touches a game. No problem. Aha! Giovanni Long says, thank you, Jets, coming from a Ravens fan. You're welcome, Giovanni. We do what we can. Taking out all these top AFC teams just so you guys can get a top seed. Just for you. Oh, poetic justice, right, Rusty Spooner? The Patriots unleash Monster Mike. Thanks to Bill for returning the favor, LOL. Man, could you imagine if that's where this all wound up going? That would be awesome. All right. I feel like I'm just rambling at this point, and this is a lot of fun. I had an absolute blast. This is the first time we've had a really good live stream after a game since the Titans game, and it feels good to finally get 2 victories for the first time, I guess, since last year, and last year we weren't really rooting for them. So I'm excited. Guys, this has been a whole lot of fun. I'm going to do my takeaways video. I'll do my grades on everything. I'll have that up probably either later tonight or early tomorrow. And then tomorrow, I'll be live with one of the Jets X Factor guys. I don't know if it's Joe this week. It might be Joe this week. And then Tuesday, we got the Talking Jets panel. So if you're on your way out, drop a like on this video. And I will see you guys tomorrow. J-E-T